Okay, so anyway, we're here with the cast and crew of Pitchfork on the EGS's hashtag 7 days of Halloween Day on the GORECAST. So we'd like to say hello to everybody. Firstly, getting my list out. So we have, again, Daniel Wilkinson from Pitchfork and Pitchfork. Give a wave. Who plays Pitchfork? That's what. There we go. We have Lindsey Nicole, who plays Claire.
Hello.
Okay, nice hand. We got Brian Raetz, who I believe played Hunter.
Yeah, again, superb, pronunciation there.
Oh, he practiced. He actually practiced, just to be sure.
Yeah.
I literally just went Raetz, Raetz.
Right.
And we finally have Nicole Dambro, who played Flo.
Hello.
So,
Welcome to the show, first of all.
damn straight. And a big happy Halloween from Ireland over to America.
Happy Halloween!
So when we were talking to Glenn and Daryl earlier in the week, they'd mentioned that you guys in the lead up to shooting Pitchfork had lived on set together for how long?
A month.
Yeah. 1 month in total. Yeah, that was something that was really cool about the shooting of the film, is we all were literally sleeping in the same house where the filming was taking place. So we were really immersed in the world of the film as the actors.
24/7.
Except for me, I was put in a haunted hotel.
He was alienated.
Yeah, I did mention that
Something about treating you like a dog the entire time. I had visions of you in a kennel with a collar and leash. And not in the fun way either.
Did-
For the behind the scenes, you'll catch that in the behind the scenes thing, yeah.
no, but they'd mentioned that you'd stayed secluded away from all of the people who were the people you were killing, and you didn't meet them until the day they were doing their kill scene with you.
Yep, so they didn't get they got to see the full costume right then and there. So it was pretty interesting to see everyone's full reaction, they got the real genuine reaction, so it was fun.
Except for me. One night I snuck on set because I kept hearing what he looks like and I wasn't seeing him for a while. So I snuck on set, he found out, and Pitchfork, his character, got very mad at Claire that he snuck in the girl's bedroom that night and released dead and live frogs with notes in blood warning us off, and that was all my fault, and I truly apologize.
It's horrible because then the next couple of days, Lindsey
I
could not
wanted to go
sleep.
home.
She could not sleep. She was so frightened, and I actually know Daniel from before we started filming, so I had to constantly reassure her that
It's okay, he's not gonna kill you.
He
was.
And I was just kind of babysitting. And I'm a very light sleeper, and the floors are very creaky in the house that we were staying at in this one particular spot right in front of our bedroom.
Yeah.
And I caught him 3 or 4 times in the middle of the night, just about to come in and screw with us. And I was just like, Daniel, just go. And he was like, and he'd turn around and boiled again.
But
then
that-
he'd just come back a couple hours later.
I like your kind of the man who sleeps last. The man who sleeps last has the most fun kind of attitude.
Yeah, definitely.
I just said booby traps.
Sure contributed to the film.
Booby traps go from playful though. I'm just saying.
Contributed to my fear 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
110%.
everything I did was had purpose. It's
Yeah.
not like I did anything just to joke around. A lot of times it was to keep fun on set, but also to keep keep the stakes of what was going on. Just keep everything at that level.
To be fair, I was actually very impressed with the way that you did Pitchfork, the complete animalistic, the dog thing, the body motions, the way you moved, the way you kind of got in close at times, very much like a dog nestling in. There was 1 or 2 scenes where I
Toys
was
with your food.
yeah, pretty much.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. How you guys can see it? That's awesome. It was weird coming out of that. My girlfriend broke up with me after that movie.
Oh really?
Yeah, I came back. She's like, "Who is this?" I want Daniel back, and I was like, "I'm here." She's like, "That's not you."
Yeah, because I must say he's a real as they would have said back in the 50s. He's a real crazy cat. That guy who thinks he's a dog.
Crazy.
Segue.
Yeah, I got it.
Daniel, whenever he takes on a character, he goes into it 110%, and that's what you get is the most unique version of that character that could have possibly existed.
Yeah.
Because he goes so deep into it.
And that really strengthened everyone else's performances. And yeah, I wanted to echo what Daniel was saying about how what he was doing was really serving the film.
Yeah.
Because there was literally a mystery around him such that it was not only, like the characters who were being afraid of them, but like us actually as people.
And it would have made you guys in the house have to bond together a lot more as well. Well, the way he kept fucking with you and stuff, it would have made you guys have to bond together a lot more.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah, for protection.
Really?
We got so close. I feel bad. You must have. We got way too close, and I think you were a little sad about it.
It was amazing, but
You stuck the character.
They were just sacrificed.
Yeah.
It was good, but Glenn they were freaking amazing to have everyone be on board and allow you to do that. Because I know there's film sets I wouldn't be able to do this on, and I wouldn't do it on, But this one I was given the freedom, the opportunity to, and I think everyone was, to really just bring 110% and to live it, And that's actually what I was actually asked to come on and stay in character. That was one of the things before I came on. I was like, hell yeah, I would gladly do that. But these are the ground rules. These are things I can't do. So there was things I had to learn to talk to Glenn about because, I don't really speak in the movie. And so how do you communicate with the director if you want me to be truthful with the character?
Right.
And so these were problems that we had to overcome and figure out before we got on set. So it was kind of fun, So,
I think,
and that's hence the reason we didn't even need to do these dog, like you're saying, I was going to treat like a dog. We didn't even know what was going on until like the third or fourth day, and someone pointed it out. It's like, oh, he's talking to me like a dog. Go
so
down.
what was he like? He was like, here, Daniel, that kind of thing, or
Literally.
Yeah.
Except he wasn't saying
He's
Daniel.
saying clear pitch.
Yeah. Good boy.
Yeah.
Okay. And that scene,
Sicker.
that was actually one of the things he said about
Play dead.
play dead. I love it, man. That's I love when I hear people get that deep into something. It's really cool. So it makes it not just like a kind of a movie. Really, you kind of lived it to a certain
experience.
Yeah. It's weird because people ask how to get over it. It's like the memories are there, It's like that really happened, except for they're still here, thankfully.
Yeah, well, but it's really an honor to be able to work that way because usually as an actor, if you go on and do like a film, you're sort of like waiting in the back room or something like that, and then you come out, into this imaginary world and you live your thing, and then you go back to the back room and have some cookies and tea or whatever. But for us, like, no, we weren't just hanging out in the back room. We were like in the barn, or we were out in the woods waiting, So we were really immersed. So as actors, it was an amazing and totally lovely experience to actually live for the entire month in the imaginary circumstances of this film.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, and there were very real circumstances, like the Amish people that would come by in their buggies. Do you know about Amish?
Oh yeah, we do.
We've seen Banshee.
I was just going to say we've seen Banshee. Have you seen Banshee?
Does what?
Have
you ever seen the TV show Banshee?
Benji.
Banshee.
No, Banshee.
Show like back in the 80s or
No. It's a new thing.
A new thing. It came out there a few years ago.
Anyway, full of Amish people in it.
And violence.
A lot of violence in Amish people.
The town, which my character was actually named after, Claire, in Michigan, there's really just one main street with one supermarket, but there's parking spots made for horse and buggies. And so all of our shots were mainly at night, and you would see just some Amish teenagers peeking through the bushes and the trees. And that's what would scare me the most, because they weren't allowed to be there, and they were just like peeking through, seeing what's going on, who invaded our town.
But luckily they don't watch movies, so they don't know that what happened to their town. Included.
Yeah, I was getting to that actually.
How did they take to so much electronical gear being around? Or did they kind of just...
They hide behind, they're not allowed to that.
Yeah.
They can watch it, but they just can't be in front of it. So it was fun. I remember one family came and I actually brought them behind the camera so they could watch a scene. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I did that in, I can't say which scene, but
Oh, that's cool.
it was really cool to see it. It's funny because they were literally like 300 yards away. looking, going, oh, I'm like using your imagination. And so to have like 8 kids and 1 mother come over, no exaggeration, just come over and watch it was amazing. This was their joy. So it was amazing. And the sets were so surreal too. I mean, you'll see it in the movie. The sets were, you show up and your job's pretty easy. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I've got I would say the bloodshed. You know, there's a scene with a bloodshed, and that's all I'm gonna say. I walked in, was like, there's a vulture. I hear a vulture. There was a vulture in the bloodshed. I was like, you're joking me. This is legit amazing. And whether it gets seen or not, it's a different story. But this is what we had to deal with. Because like we're showing up to something, and it looks like it's been like a 50.
Yeah. Or like, I'm not gonna tell you which part, but there was a scene set up that involved like dead animals, and we were legit not sure if they were actually dead animals or if they were fake. There might have been
somebody out with the roadkill bucket.
Yeah.
Well, Glenn had mentioned that there was a certain element of truth to the, not literally the Pitchfork character, but the kind of the background story and everything about him.
Clare, Michigan is actually where Glenn grew up. This is his family's farm.
Yeah.
It was a true passion project for him because he grew up on this farm knowing that his family wanted his direction to go in a certain way and probably take over the farm. But as a little kid, he was just dreaming of something more, dreaming of entertainment, dreaming of movies. So to come back and refilm and tell a story, which I know one of his closest friends is named Flo. Like, certain character names are based off of people in his life as well.
Yeah.
So it really was all different parts of Glenn pulled out into one story. It was incredible.
It wasn't like Hunter's story.
A little of
Glenn's story too.
The character I played, Hunter, was very much inspired by Glenn's own personal path in life. So there's not to be right to the, I got the source. I was directly tapped at the source there to be able to ask him questions.
That must have been very handy on set. Do you know what I mean? Just because you could literally be like, okay, so if you were in this situation, Glenn, how would you?
Oh wait, you were in this situation. Yeah.
Like Glenn, a lot of, and it wasn't super to the T Glenn exactly, but there were a lot of character traits that were coming across. Like one of them, which is so goofy that this stands out to me, but Glenn doesn't swear. That's just not part of his.
This guy.
What?
He doesn't swear much.
It depends. I use a lot of fake swear words just to make sure I don't get in trouble from the parents of kids and stuff.
Like what?
Smeg, dren, frack.
Ever since Pitchfork happened.
Yeah.
He goes, fork, yeah.
So the character, you won't see Hunter swearing really a lot,
I was actually just thinking back in my head and I was like, yeah, I don't remember you swearing once over the course of that thing.
Yeah. Pretty circumstances, so.
A thing we have to touch on, because we touched on it the last time, the dance scene. Because it's never been seen before, and a little bird tells me that one of you, I'm not exactly sure who, had a bit of trouble learning the choreography, I think. Was it one of you?
It was Pitchfork, so he was.
Oh, it's Pitchfork.
Yeah.
Damn, that would have.
The arm movements when you don't have an arm.
That would have been awesome.
The rafters. No one knew I was there, actually, yeah.
Really?
Well, maybe you did, but yeah.
You were in the
That's right. I didn't see him. He was in the back.
So in the dance scene, it's basically if you look up in the rafters, I was hanging out there watching while the whole thing was going on.
Nice.
The best part is that dance scene was filmed at 3 a.m. It looks like we have so much energy, but we're running off of our last fuel of coffee and like overtiredness. I don't know how to explain. 3 a.m. we filmed that dance scene.
Well, and about the dance scene, to answer your question a little bit, I was the only one who didn't have a professional dance background.
Oh, okay.
That scene, and so we took 2 days to go and rehearse the choreography and learn it.
Right.
And so
because it's not the world's easiest dance either. Like, do you know what I mean? I know it's not like you're break dancing or anything, but there's a lot of
Well,
there's a lot of it.
Dominated choreographer who's worked with Michael Jackson. Huge.
And me.
And Claire, Lindsey Nicole. So it was an honor to, at one point, it was funny, like while I was dancing in the studio, while we were learning the choreography.
Yeah.
I thought I'm like, here's Emmy-nominated Glenn Douglas Packard, E-Man of the Strip,
Keith, who plays Rocky.
Keith, who plays Rocky, and then also Vibhu, who is this up-and-coming indie Bollywood star,
Yeah.
And, all these guys are just dancing, like, so well with their professional background, and here I am,
You did really well.
He's amazing.
It's just about learning how to coordinate your body in that specific way once you get it. And it's
Muscle
a little
memory.
bit of time, but he got it.
He got it.
Yeah.
He got it.
Because he has the confidence to do anything.
Yeah.
Give him anything, he'll do it.
I'll go for it.
Yeah.
That's
and
good.
He actually started taking dance right after that, too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We have some other interesting questions from set. Give me a second.
The one about the maggots was interesting to me.
Oh, who got a lot of maggots in their hair? Yeah.
I did.
Oh, was that on set? I don't remember that in the film.
It's super gross. So they don't tell you that if you're near corn, there are little maggots the size of rice. So I'm thinking that I maybe got like flour or something on me, like like petals.
Yeah.
And I brushed it and it started moving, and I was like, oh no. And I felt my hair. My hair's full of hairspray, and it's foggy out. It's sticky. It's humid. We're in the late summer in Michigan, and it's wet outside, and I just maggots everywhere. Maggots everywhere.
It was horrible. It was. I ran to the cornfield and I felt my back itching. I was just like, oh, and I turned. I was like, Glenn, I think there's something like that.
Oh, why are they bitey?
No, they.
That's how many there were.
Oh.
I had them falling down with the prosthetics in my hands. So for like 2 hours, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I don't like today. And he's like, why? I was like, well, I got maggots in my hand. I've had them for the last 2 hours, and they're moving into the prosthetic.
And they bite.
Yeah. Well,
I told you.
Yeah, they were.
I thought that.
Yeah, they eat
They
flesh.
eat, no, they
They
eat.
kind of chew you. They don't do it well, but they nip.
I actually.
Our makeup artist was like, no, not doing it. Help, we need to be touched up. She's like, no. You're gonna look like crap for your scene. I don't give up.
A fork.
I don't give a fork.
Showering it off and just looking at the drain. And we're talking. If I said the word thousands, it's almost an understatement. I wanted a scene. Actually, I told Glenn, I was like, Glenn, can you get a shot with just the maggots crawling on my back? And so
And he didn't shower, so that night he was kind of forced to.
Sorry, I just had visions of them getting out the water hose. Good doggy. Good doggy.
Incredible pools for him to get washed in.
That's gross. You don't want to get involved with maggots.
yeah, it was my least favorite day on set.
I actually didn't think that they'd bite because, as far as I knew, maggots only eat away dead flesh. Well, clearly I was wrong.
It's covered with dead flesh, so
Yeah.
that's why the maggots were eating away at you and not Daniel.
Oh.
Yeah.
You were covered in dead flesh.
You know what?
They like
you
blood.
can feel them. So
Oh.
however you just you feel them. I mean, however, whatever your mind makes you think it is, you feel them, and it's
Feeds the fear.
disturbing. And I think there was so much on the set of this movie set was that we feeded the imagination. There was times when I wasn't on set, and they're like, he's in the cornfield, we hear we hear something. They always have that hysteria. And so that magic.
I love this. I love it.
One night I couldn't sleep because I saw Pitchfork in the closet. I
Even
swore.
after filming back in LA, I would see him sometimes. But our producer, this was one night we were done filming. Were you with us? I think 4 or 5 of us from the cast were just sitting outside watching the stars, and we see Pitchfork kind of coming up behind us, and it was our producer just holding something. It was Daryl.
My mom sees you in the barn all the time. My mom and Trevor see you, my actual mom. She always.
I swear I saw her.
Yeah.
The
Can't
producer,
trust that Pitchfork. He's a shady dude.
the producers were really good about, and Glenn and Joe were really good about hyping that hysteria on set, you know, because there were certain times where they told me they did something, you know, they probably didn't know that, but they was like, we did this, and they thought that was happening. So it really, you know, you got to live it, which is something these guys got to live being best friends, which is amazing.
I miss
you know,
it.
and it was so
Playing ping pong in the house and watching scary movies.
Yeah, each one of their characters.
But also, Glenn never let us feel like we had any connection to the real world. Yeah, we had our phones, but TV, there were only scary DVDs available, only horror films available.
Yeah.
I'm not a horror person,
Either.
and I just wanted to rewind most of the time and watch. No, I wasn't allowed to watch anything but horror films, so I was scared all of the time.
That's what we watch to wind down over here, you see, so
Yeah, we actually use horror films to relax.
that's my nice little bit of...
I did have an American Horror Story, but that's just different. That's like pop culture.
Did you see the latest episode?
I'm sorry?
Did you see the latest episode of American Horror Story? Oh my god, so good. So good. I'm not going to get into any more than that.
Are we allowed?
We're
No, we can't get into it.
This season again.
I've had no one to talk to since it came out, so I've just been like,
Button it.
it's a blood fest. It's amazing.
Be my favorite, 100%. But this season was just something so new. You know, the murder house is in LA. We should go today. It's Halloween. We should go. Fly in.
We're getting a plane, Giz.
Yeah. You know, you can rent it on Airbnb. It's just really expensive because it's really big.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you can rent it.
That's kind of weird.
We're supposed to be going, the EGS are supposed to be going over to the most haunted hotel in England and staying a night. They can't get anyone to stay a night in there.
When do we go?
I don't know, I'm trying to arrange it with the green fella, but...
Oh, this is going to be fun.
He's getting sexy.
You know, they actually really did put me in the hotel I was staying in. There actually was a haunted room, and they didn't tell me that. And I remember hopping into the shower, and I'm this kid, I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, okay. But I literally felt this breeze behind me. I felt like a dude hop in the shower with me. And I'm brushing this off, I'm not feeling anything. It's cool. And I go downstairs the next day, and I was like, hey, I'm not really superstitious, but is my room haunted at one point? I mean, I don't mean that I was trying really hard. That's just like, oh yeah, no, they put you in the haunted room. They didn't tell you that. They asked for that on purpose. I was like, thanks. That was
amazing.
literally my first day on set.
More of Glenn's tricks.
Yeah. So I had a dude that showered with me all the time it was so, hence the reason why I didn't shower that much. She said, I did shower all the time, but it was definitely something to shower.
Don't lie.
You
You
were
don't like
touched by a
showers.
spirit.
You see, here's the thing. You said your imagination was running away with you. You're assuming it's a guy. How do you know it wasn't a hot ghost chick?
Yeah, right?
I would have loved it to have been a hot. Trust me, I would have turned around and there'd been a big smile. I would get to realize I was by myself.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have imagined a girl there, 100%. But it just, it's like this doesn't feel right. I turn around, it's like I can imagine you're a girl, but I know you're not. That's what
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Wilkinson.
Don't go
My
to...
mouth has been open like this for the last,
Whatever you do, don't go to
60
Thailand.
seconds.
I've been sure.
Yeah,
He knows.
Speaking from experience, you know you're in a haunted place when you're sitting down in a chair and there's tap dancing coming from the floor upstairs with nobody else in the house. That was awesome.
Where was that?
I used to live in a house like that.
Everywhere in Ireland's haunted.
Well,
Literally everywhere in Ireland. It's from the famine. So...
So this is like your bedtime stories then. So you're going to watch this and it's going to be the best lullaby ever, is what you're trying to say. Just watch this and it'll put you right to sleep. And there's even a dance number, so if you can't sleep to the horror, you'll sleep to the dance number.
It's a fun dance number.
It's a bit too upbeat to sleep to.
yeah.
Fancy funny.
It's a bit too upbeat to sleep to. Okay, so another question from the set.
Would you like to borrow my glasses?
No, it's fine.
Good, because you see even worse.
Yes.
We jumped up when you see that's why. What was the hardest part about filming?
Leaving.
Leaving, yeah. That's so sad.
Everyone, Oh wait, I don't. Well, I was just gonna say like a lot of characters left set in like staggered. People had to fly back at different times. So by the end of it was
getting killed off at different times as well, I suppose.
Yeah.
It was just a rush of the craziest connection of all of us. So as people left, I just couldn't. It felt even that much more real. Anything they did with this movie, offset and onset, just added everything to how our characters felt in the movie. It was so sad when we all said bye at different points. I don't like thinking about it, actually.
I think another hard part about filming was Glenn is a very talented music video director, and he also made sure to make sure as ladies that we were being very sexy. And it was
mission accomplished, by the way.
Very difficult sometimes to be in character, but then hear like arch your back or
your butt's not showing well enough. Arch your back. Your butt is forgettable.
More
Arch your
side
back.
Your butt is forgettable. That is a line.
All the time.
Because horror film, you have to be sexy. It's like part of the genre, right? It's just like visually appealing and shocking and all that stuff and sexy wrapped up, scary sexy, wrapped in the one package. So at times, it was a little. It's a good one.
I want them terrified and aroused.
I have to say, personally speaking, job well done.
Oh. Thanks. Thank you.
Hardest part for me, definitely. I've never acted before. So this was my first huge experience of being on set, being with actors and actresses and cast, crew, cameras. But with all of these people, my people, everyone just made it the best experience. And I had, how many cast members? Whoever was on cast and whoever was on crew were my mentors. They helped me with anything possible. So even though it was my complete challenge of gaining the confidence to get on set, I had everyone's back, or everyone had my back and I had their back, and it just was the best, happiest experience despite it being a horror film. It was the best time.
Yeah, a true joy. Like really, you asked what was the hardest thing, and even in those moments where there's like maggots or we've done a shoot, like one time we walked into the woods at 7 p.m. to start filming. And then we walked out of the woods at 7 a.m., So for 12 hours, I watched the sun go down. I lived that film, that experience, and then the sun went up and I walked out of the woods. And even though that was like really hard, staying awake all night, and it was intense and tough, mentally, emotionally, physically, it was a joy. Because we all really like to do this stuff. So really, the entire experience was amazing.
Yeah, and there was a lot of. I don't know if you guys got the sleep depravity, but that was something that I was in the makeup chair before these guys. Like, unfortunately,
6 hours.
Yeah, I was. I mean, it started off 10 hours. I can't remember the exact thing, but it basically got down to the end result. They could do it in 3 to 5 hours, but that's 3 to 5 hours I'm there before them, and then they leave, and then there's another hour to take it off. Then I got to go home and shower and get everything off me, which takes another hour, and then I'm on set 2 hours later.
Tell about walking back into the hotel and the reactions you get.
So I forget, you're covered in blood, right? So
that happens.
Big biker guys, and they're literally throwing down and trying to like show their ladies that they're tougher than this one guy, and they're having this bickerment. These two big guys. And I remember walking like, oh, dude, a fight's about to go down, and all of a sudden, boom, everyone leans against the wall. And I just walk, and they open. It was like the sea parted for me.
Through the Red Sea.
I'm going to have to cut really quickly to our sponsor ad, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about the biker throwdown, if that's okay.
Yeah, because I'm interested.
So, sponsor ad now.
Lads, I'm so fucking bored.
Weird. I don't remember turning the TV on.
Welcome to the new American Horror Channel on Roku. Streaming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all night, all day, all horror. Hi, I'm Hart D. Fisher. As owner and operator of the world's greatest uncut 24 hours a day, 7 days a week horror channel, American Horrors, it's my job to let you know that I'm choking to death on this smoke. Okay, we're still rolling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so after I come through, I look back, and the biggest guy's literally clutching onto his girl. On the side, like literally hand on boob, freaking, other hand on wall, just the look of terror on his face. I look back, and he was looking at me, and I look up the stairs to see if someone's behind me. And it took me a second to realize, oh, he's looking at me, and I look down, I'm covered in blood from head to toe. And the mask, when you take it off, I basically had blood and everything under the mask, and my hair was matted with blood and that. So I looked. Now that when I pulled the mask off, I thought it looked scarier sometimes. I'm like, I really look like death right now. Yeah. But yeah, it was the funniest thing to see big guys. Like, we're talking 240 pounds, 6'3", and they're both just quivering. Going on here, you know? But yeah, that was awesome. The hardest thing for me, I think, though, was the isolation. You know, I mean, these guys had it amazing because they could be friends, and they really created that. And I think each one to himself was amazing because they really lived in their own character in that world. It wasn't just, hey, we're friends and we're having a good time, but they were still, whether Glenn unwittingly cast the people that were, or whether they chose to be that person and live that. For me, staring inside the windows sometimes, or just being the outside perspective, I could see them living the character. So the character you're seeing isn't necessarily always them, but they were living that character as well. So whether they realize it or not, subconsciously, and I've never told them this, but subconsciously I think this was happening. So the whole time, everyone's kind of getting to live their dream, which is kind of amazing. And for me, I hated set, not gonna lie. I mean, as much as I love as an actor, I was tormented the whole time. So for me to say, oh, I had a great time, I'm living that my mother, I can't say, I'm living the instances that are happening, you know? And so it was really hard for me, and it was emotionally draining. I think sometimes some of the hardest stuff for me was trying to come out of character.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, because Glenn pulled me aside at one time. He's like, Daniel, I'm worried for you, you know? I just want to make sure that your recovery process, that you're going to be okay.
I remember on our plane ride home, I was so sad, and you were sad too, but so I just wanted to put on my headphones and listen to music and fall asleep while I was crying. And I would just get like little twitches from Pitchfork, because he wasn't Daniel yet, and he would just be like, freaking out. I can't do this, like on a plane, because Pitchfork would never be on a plane. It's like, I need to do something. And he started getting really animalistic on the plane, like, you can't do this is an airport, like, this isn't happening. But you got out of it eventually.
Eventually, you know, you create weird, because
the psychology is powerful.
Well, you know, you live it so that way the nuanced moments, the things that you don't expect, the mannerisms, certain things that happen, it's not so that way, it's for the times that you don't know, that just will naturally occur. So when you're on set, things will happen and you don't realize it. I'm not trying to plan what I'm doing. I think the scariest moment for me was being on set the first day. I did all this prep, I had this character done, I did everything, and then throwing away, like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. You know, I mean, to some degree, because you have to live in that experience, that uncertainty, that fear of, if I know what I'm doing, it's a preconceived idea, and if it's a preconceived idea,
it won't seem natural. You know? Yeah. To be honest, as I said earlier, there were times when you did just the way you moved, and like you said, you might not have even realized you were doing it, but just. You moved a certain way, and it's kind of like, yeah, I've seen dogs moving exactly like that for the exact right, and it's just a subtle thing, you know, and it bleeds through, it shows through, and it makes it natural. It's awesome.
It brings the character to life.
Thank you. I'm really blessed. I have some friends who really helped me out. I mean, I had a month to prep for this role, and so, it's funny because as an actor, like only a month, I was like, hell, all these independent movies sometimes you only get 2 weeks. So for me, just literally throwing away everything, saying, here's my credit card, I'm living off my credit card for the next month, so that way I can just focus solely on this role, and to have friends, like I had a good friend, Matt Fahey, just helped me just to play in the world, you know, and that was something that I really wanted to bring on set too, that even though we're having this hard time to play, because you're being little kids again, you know, at the end of the day, it's just, what are we doing? You know, I'm spending 21 hours a day sometimes on set.
But because you love it. Right?
Yeah, and I mean, it's times I'm like, I fucking hate life. I'm not to swear, sorry. And
Oh yeah, well, you fucking swear all the time.
Fuck away.
Yeah. Fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck.
Yeah, side story. But, so yeah, you hate life and you're like, what's going on? But, lost my train of thought. I guess it doesn't matter.
Train of thought derailed.
What I'm talking about is enjoying it as the actor, even when the character is miserable.
Yeah, you had to come back to that place. And if you know, and that's when all of a sudden, once you're at 12, 13, 14 hours and you're having to run, because it was a super demanding set for me especially, and I don't think, I know I've said in an interview before that Glenn really matched what we did. So like there was scenes where people were cold, he took his shirt off, you know? If we're up super late, he's gonna stay up with you. He really wanted to make sure that the level of commitment was that. And I think it really became contagious. You know, I think one of the sayings that I would say is I just want the best for the movie. I want this movie to be the best. How can we make this movie the best? Yeah. And I think that really became everyone's kind of mantra on set, and it became a team effort, and it was about everyone making Pitchfork. It wasn't about me playing Pitchfork, and it wasn't about this character. It's, oh, me. No, it's like, how can we make this movie the best movie possible? And that was, I think, our goal. And you said it before, it was a passion project, and it really was a passion project, you know? And so, this, you know, for the future ones, hopefully, this one will always have a special place in heart in my life, just because I knew going into this what it was. It was a passion project. And, you know, you get more money, things may change, but this had so many things that were so close to Glenn and so close to me, or so close to all of us, and to be at his house where he grew up, and the things that he imagined, and now his imagination, I dream of this happening over by this tree or something here, and now he's putting on camera. And it's like, imagine you as an audience being a 10-year-old, 14-year-old boy thinking, you're playing, and all of a sudden, flash forward 30 years later, and you're seeing it happen. So you can see his vision of what it must have felt like for him to think, oh my gosh, this is where you grew up thinking and playing, and now you're seeing the reality. That must have been a mind fuck for him, for lack of a better word.
It's like literally it's kind of like every kid's dream come true, and nightmare come true, I suppose. Do you know, like everyone has that cool little character in their head that they have when they're a kid. It must be something amazing to just see him, especially have a guy like you take it and bring the whole thing to life completely, you know?
Yeah, I was really, you know what, I was given a lot of freedom, but I was given a lot of freedom because I brought a lot to it, you know? And if I would have, working with him, I would have hated to have brought anything less, because I would have got my ass chewed out, or it wouldn't have been as fun on set, or just, I don't think what happened would have, what became wouldn't have been there, you know? Because there's scenes that weren't written. You guys saw some of the scenes. There's scenes that were not written at all, and he actually changed the script on set. He's like,
a huge part of the script.
This isn't working. This isn't working. Let's change it. I want the best movie possible. How can we make this? And it literally, there was a 2-day stint where we were like, oh, and it's created hysteria for these guys, because then they didn't know if they were going to die, who was going to die. It threw the script, and all of a sudden you're not on the script.
God, that was the most nerve-wracking 3 days.
Played it like, who's going home?
It was half horror film, half reality TV.
Very immersive. You know, Glenn's a very immersive director, and that was amazing to work with.
Speaking more about Glenn, though, I've known him since I was 9 years old, from my dance background. And to see him on set, I was 22, turning 23. And to see him in this light, back at home, but as such a successful man, wanting to just tell his story through his passion of horror.
Yeah.
He was always my role model since I was a little girl, but to see him now and to see what he's doing, to see where this movie is going, it was incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it. It was just incredible to watch him and to know that I was a part of that light of his, and all of us were.
That's
it was
really
awesome.
Nice. I'm just fascinated by the notion that, for me, it just seems like he got a video camera and he filmed this massive role-playing game and stuck all ye in his characters and said, here's what you're supposed to do it. And then sat back and kind of...
It's Glenn Big Brother.
It's called making a movie.
No, hang on. Bear with me. Like any good Dungeons & Dragons dungeon master, every now and then kind of go, okay, guys, someone's fucked proper. You're never going to find out that. Just the changing of the script in the middle of it, I'm kind of going, you know, if I were him, yeah, I'd have done it just to mess with their heads.
Yeah. And it did.
There were two of us that it was changing the story drastically. So he brought us all together. He said, not in this text, but one of you's going home and you'll find out in the next 3 days when we're done rewriting the script. And we're all looking at each other. We already made our certain little like connections with certain people. We're all close, but we had our little partners. And we're like, no, you can't go. No, you can't go. What's going on?
It would have been cool if he just walked into the room and was like, one of you's going to die. I'll let you know. In a
Yeah, and it's very that's what he did.
I just went, one of you's going to die.
He was just, one of you are leaving. Deal with it.
Pitch was happy about that, though. It means he got to kill some more.
Yeah, good times. Actually, that was one of the favorite. I will give that good times. I know you probably that was one of my lovely haikus I saw. I was like, oh, you know. So there's so many things. There's so many things littered throughout this movie that if you watch 2 or 3 times, you can start picking things up. That I didn't recognize that before, or I can't wait for him to do commentary on it behind, because then he'll give certain reasoning why this was this. And yeah, I mean, you watch it 2 or 3 times to see it from a different angle. I've watched it 5 or 6 times in the theater for every screening, and every time I see it, I see something different. I'm like, oh, it's the movie's kind of evolving for me watching it, so it's kind of weird. I'm like, okay, you know. So it's nice to be able to watch it more than once and not get bored.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm actually looking.
Not that I'm watching myself.
I still haven't seen the movie. She hasn't seen it yet.
What?
I know.
Oh, ask Glenn for the thing.
I've been filming other projects every time we've had a premiere.
Could he not send you a link?
The screen, but he sent to us so that we could watch it and review it. You'd be able to watch it on the computer and be sorted.
Thanks,
that was
Glenn.
good. That was good.
She didn't even notice. That was amazing. You should.
That was normal. That's just how he
communicates.
He does. Yeah.
A little flash of Pitchfork there.
Yeah.
Yeah, glimmers of pitch. Flash of pitch.
Before we start bringing Daniel further back into his Pitchfork character, I think it's time to say goodbye to these lovely people and let them get back to their Halloween day.
You're lovely as well. Well, thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for coming on.
You too. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
We enjoyed.
Also on coming off the Cinematography Award at the Nightmares Festival.
Yeah.
Nightmares, yeah. And enjoy the rest of your Halloween, and everyone at the GORECAST watching the GORECAST, enjoy the rest of your
So we're still vibing.
Oh wait, okay, we lost you for a second. Bye.
Bye guys.
Thank you so much. Bye.